So, in 2 Corinthians it talks about what does righteousness have to do with unrighteousness, right? Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. And I bring this up in today's video because I've always struggled with, should Christians be friends with non-Christians? And you can take a step further, should Christians be in romances with non-Christians? Now, in today's video, I'm going to keep it in the context of just friendships. And truth be told, I still get conflicted once in a while. One thing that I know is that no matter what, I still have to live in the real world, right? I can't just, I can't go live in the forest somewhere and shun everyone else around me. It is important to have Christian friends, absolutely, to hold me accountable, to one hand washes the other type of thing. I believe a big part of it is motives, right? One thing that I need to do no matter what is to be obviously an example of Christ to the best of my abilities. If my friendships, my connections with unbelievers causes me to compromise my Christian values, if I start to look like the world, then yeah, I might want to step back, right, to be real honest. Does it mean that that I should be unfriendly? No, absolutely not. I should show everybody some basic human dignity. I should also examine my expectations. I think I should also probably, at least at some point, mention the gospel. But if the friendship is going to cause me to compromise, then I might need to take a second look. And again, sometimes I'm still going to feel conflicted. Some of us might. On the flip side, though, it is possible that if we can maintain our integrity with our friendships, with our connections, even if they're just acquaintances, whether they're just people that we know through mutual friends or they're coworkers or what have you, family members, right? Not all of our family members will be believers. Sometimes we might be the only example of Christ that they get in their lives. So that's also one way to look at it. I think it can be a delicate balance. It's definitely not a black and white issue. I think it's situational, to say the least. At the end of the day, no, I don't think I should I got to be careful to not allow my Christian faith. We need to be careful not to allow our faith to isolate us from the rest of the world. I don't think that's healthy. Is it important, like I said a second ago, is it important that we have, you might say a good, solid core group of Christian friends? Yeah, absolutely. Does that mean that, if an acquaintance, maybe if a non-believer that I'm friendly with, if, they invite me over to watch a ball game, should I say no? Some people might not. I think that we should pray about it. I think that we should use some discernment. And I think it's going to be different person to person. I mean, we're not all at the same place in our walk with Christ. We're not all at the same point in our spiritual maturity. So, I think I would say you could argue, but I would say at least in part, that it's personal. It might fall under more of one of those personal convictions. I'm not sure that just to say no, you should never have friends, you should never make connections or bonds with unbelievers. Should we make a blanket statement that way, regarding this type of thing? I'm not sure we should, but maybe we should, right? It's again though, I think it goes back to the person. Where are we in our walk? I mean, I would guess that a lot of people, when we first come to faith, we might have a lot of unbelievers in our life. But how do we look years down the line? How have we grown in that regard? So, at the end of the day, again, I think that's really, for me, I think that's a large benchmark. If my associations with non-Christians are causing me to compromise and look worldly, then maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe I need to take a second look, right? It's simple. It's simple-ish. but it's not always easy to apply. Because I get it, we care about people. I mean, I have people in my life around me that I care about that are not Christians, or I'm not sure about their faith. So it's, a lot of prayer, a lot of discernment, a lot of growth. So, a day at a time, just tackle things a day. Go to work, go to school, go wherever we go. Again, we're talking friendships, so I'm not marrying these people. I'm probably not. And to be fair, a lot of friendships come and go. I mean, that's been my experience in my life. I mean, it's very... I don't have anyone in my life not one person that I still talk to that I grew up with, right? It just is what it is. Through moving and going through some transitions in my life. I don't talk to anybody. Yeah, I don't talk to any of my childhood friends. Now if I saw them today, I mean, some of them we were so close. I mean, we'd pick up right where we left off. But so, friends come and go too. That's something else I need to remember. And again, just I need to be as Christ-like as possible, which nobody does it perfectly. I drop the ball on that all the time, right? Let me be honest. Let me be real with you. But again, I need to remember that sometimes we might be the only example they get. So, something to think about. Something to pray about. Take care.